goods and services. And by services, you know what I mean.
You're not doing that great in the polls. Maybe on my poll.
Most normal people, now any of you lefties that are listening to this, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Most of you guys are half retarded anyways.
Like that insufferable cunt, Sheryl Crow would say, a change would do us good. Come whip your dick out in my bathroom.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Cesspool 156. I'm Jay Foss. I'm here with Mitch McConnell's speech coach, the Badger. So, Elon Musk, are you a fan?
I kind of like some of the shit that he says.
Do you think that the MMA fight is really going to go down?
I don't know.
Who's the other guy's name? What's the fucking guy?
Zuckerberg.
Now remember, Zuckerberg's doing the rich celebrity thing and doing like jiu-jitsu tournaments because that's what all those fucking douchebag celebrities do.
Yeah, nothing too hard.
Well, right. And
let's not get too hard.
And they said just in case, people, because people notice him that he goes in disguise and stuff. That's just stories I've read. Like he'll go in disguise so you don't know you're going against him, and then a boom. I don't know if he's wearing Leatherface masks or what the fuck he's doing, but yeah, he'll. And then he'll go as different names too. So I mean, Zark Muckerberg and shit like real shit that you have no clue.
Amanda Hug and Kiss.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Mayhoff. But from the looks of it, I mean, Musk doesn't look all that intimidating. Because UFC was trying to get involved. Dana White's ass is probably like, hey, I'll pay you guys $2,000 a piece. This would be great. And they probably said, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like he does to all his fighters. I'll pay you some ramen and, $2,000. I mean, what beats that?
True.
But they said they would get together, it'd go to some kind of cause. But, it still might happen. Who knows?
Well, hasn't Musk been involved in some type of martial arts, or is he just now like trying to do something?
I don't know. I would hope he would be if he's going to just randomly want to.
Well, I know he was doing some training, but I don't know if he has any background to anything.
Don't we all? What do you like most about Musk, though? I would say, and then we were talking off recording about people that you wouldn't want to see with money or people that you would want to see with money.
Right.
I'm not against Musk having the money he does because he's trying to do shit with it. I think it's pretty cool what he does. The companies he tries to implement.
There are people that say he's the genius of our time. Obviously, he owns Starlink, which is providing internet access from outer space. He has Tesla, which is that's been the number one electric vehicle for several years now. SpaceX.
Yeah.
He's putting rockets out in space. He's supplying the International Space Station with goods and services. And by services, you know what I mean. But I want to say that his company is the first one that they saved the boosters. They don't just drop them off into the ocean. Like he's developed technology that allows that booster to come back and land on the pad that it lifts off from, which is kind of crazy. So he does some really awesome shit. And as far as money goes, like if you earn the money, like Bezos is a lefty, the owner of Amazon. I don't have a problem with him having money. He earned it. He's got a great big company. He's done a lot of things that's provided. Amazon is absolutely huge. It's completely changed how people shop. It's very convenient. Now, some people will complain that that's beating up on the small guy, the brick and mortar stores, because all those have been closing up all across the country because buying shit off the internet's so easy now. Technology changes. Whenever the automobile was invented, there was a lot of horse people that were pissed off. It killed their business. It's just how it goes.
Jimmy Buffett. Can you name 3 songs?
I can't name one song.
Yeah, you can name one song.
Jimmy Buffett? I don't think I know any of his music.
Margaritaville.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do
I mean,
remember
that's
that
the
song.
name of his restaurant, and the name. He only had one fucking song. I was giving you Mount Everest. You know what I mean? Go climb Everest. Name 3 songs. Down in Margaritaville. He's dead.
Really?
He's dead.
When did he pass?
Yesterday, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry and shit.
So, also another thing that just came through for all my fake fighting friends is AEW has fired CM Punk with cause. Um, have you heard about what this cocksucker? His whole fucking story arc is his life arc to me is funny because you got a guy who's come on in the pro wrestling business. We'll talk pro wrestling here for about let's say 5 minutes. So skip if you don't.
Okay.
You want decent content, but. So coming up, I was a pro wrestling fan growing up, but the reason I was a pro wrestling fan, and I'll tell people to this day, is because when you're a kid and you're looking at these roided up giants, and they were roided up giants, they were superheroes to me. You know what I mean? Like even today, I'm 6'3", 320. That wasn't even big back in the day. You had 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", roided freaks that were 300 to 400 pounds doing crazy shit, right? And you're looking at them like, oh my god, right? You met them in real life. Vince McMahon used to say he wanted people that would turn heads in airports, right? And that's what it was. So I love pro wrestling. I love the theatrics of it. And then even now I think it's just a I don't know, Stockholm syndrome or something, because you like something for so long. I'm sure that's like Metallica fans will tell you, man, this shit's good, and it's not. You know what I mean? Where Kid Rock fans are like, oh yeah, this is still good, and you're like, it's not. But so right, so it's still like pro wrestling. So you see someone like CM Punk. I don't even know if he's 6 foot tall. I don't know. The UFC would have told you his real stats whenever you watch it, but you see a guy like that off the street, just looks like some smarmy skateboarder. He's got his little tattoos. He's straight edge, so he's never, did drugs or drank alcohol or anything like that. So, I mean, he's already, he's not going to be my friend. You know what I mean? Because we're addicts over here. But so you look at a guy like that and you're just like, pro wrestling? You know what I mean? Like, somehow makes it in WWE, gets big, has a little bit of mic skills, but has never looked good, has never been ripped, has never done anything, but he somehow becomes a multimillionaire because of his mouth a little bit, right?
Right.
Either sucking McMahon off or on the mic, whatever, either way. So then he wants to go into UFC, which was very kind of weird. I don't know if he was like, because Kurt Angle flirted with it. Lesnar did good with it. But again, Lesnar, if you look at Lesnar's skill set, yes, NCAA champion, but I mean, couldn't really throw a punch.
Mm-mm.
He
was just like such a big guy.
Just naturally.
He was a natural athlete, but he wasn't all that talented at fighting. But people just didn't know what to do with him. He was so big and imposing.
Yeah. So, I mean, he would, he lost his fair share of fights and stuff. And then when you heard like, oh, CM Punk's got to get into it, he's training at Rufus and, he trained for years and years and, that's a big gym and, oh, he looks pretty good. And then like UFC, I don't know if they went and saw him train or whatever. They're like, I don't know who to put him against. So they brought people that were either going to debut or people outside of UFC that were never really going to make it in UFC to fight this guy.
A couple of bums off the street.
Bums, right? And the Mickey Gall guy ended up being okay, but I think low level UFC. And then the second guy, that was, I think, his only UFC fight, or maybe he had another one and then never again. But they brought in a guy, and CM Punk will go down as like the least impressive UFC fighter ever.
That had years of training.
And then we've trained. He's got way more than us, at way higher schools. And just is trash. Just trash. Can't stop takedowns. Can't hit basic stuff you learn in the first week, or should. learn in the first week, and just was a clown. Like, was beaten in 2 fights. See you later. What the fuck is this, right? So then he takes time off, then goes back to AEW, billionaire. They own the Jaguars, they own Fulham, you know. So, I mean, there's some money. So AEW, pay him X amount. I mean, I've heard up to $5 million a year he was getting paid to do this
Oh,
shit.
shit.
So then he starts having like backstage problems. And then like he would talk shit, and then other wrestlers would, say, "Hey, what the fuck is that?" And he would swing on them, and his friend like bit another wrestler, and like he would, just like be a fucking dickhead. So then he got suspended. He came back, and they had a show a couple weekends ago, that Wembley show with like 80,000 people.
Yeah.
This is a fucked up story, Badger. So it's just, this is like a fever dream or something. So they have, 82,000 people there or whatever it was. So he had told this kid, Luke Perry from fucking Beverly Hills 90210, his son wrestles for AEW. Okay? Wrap your head around that. Luke Perry, he's passed away, but his son wrestles. So I guess his son and CM Punk, like CM Punk was like, "Hey, you shouldn't use real glass when you do this stuff," or something about stunt work or something like that. You shouldn't use real glass. And the kid was like, kind of like, "Hey, if I want to, I will, whatever." So then at Wembley, during his match, he gets like backdropped into a windshield or something. So he heads to the back, after their match. He heads to the back and he sees CM Punk in the back, and they get into a confrontation. And CM Punk, I guess, other people that have seen it is like, "I can beat your ass." And he shoves the kid, tries to choke him, whatever. People break it up. And then he goes after the owner and, says, "I quit," and a bunch of just random fucking Billy Badass bullshit, right? And so,
quite strange.
Like, what's your fucking problem, guy? Like, now you have been in like 2 or 3 altercations with wrestlers. Predetermined shit. This is fucking pro wrestling, but you just can't not be a badass, even though you're like the worst UFC fighter to ever live. Is that what it is? Do you think he's that ass hurt about being beat by fucking Tommy O'Neill?
Right.
That got you. That you'll be the only one that gets that right. But
right.
But you get what I'm saying? Is that what it is?
It
that
could
he's
be.
that fucking pissed off that he, "Oh, well, these guys, I'm gonna fucking front choke them."
Right.
Dude, you're a piece of shit. And so I guess they fired him today. There goes your $5 million a year job, you fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't not be a decent human being.
Apparently not. You think he's available for a podcast?
How about for a fight? Remember, I'm just an overweight podcaster.
Oh.
He could beat my ass. He's got years of training. He's got UFC experience. And I hope I can keep up with him.
I do too.
Yeah, I just hope so. Trump winning this nomination?
I don't know.
Really?
I honestly don't know.
Who's your dark horse? Jimmy Buffett?
He'd probably be better than anything else we could pull right now. Is that a dead Margaritaville singer?
Yeah.
I think we'd be better off. We'd be better off electing a fucking ham sandwich to office compared to a lot of other shit that's out there. I mean, if we want to talk about, because Democrats don't have anybody. They have Joe Biden, which is 80 years old, functionally doesn't know where he's at half the time. He's pretty much done for. Democrats know it. They just don't like to talk about it. In the background, what do you have besides him? Kamala Harris, a vice president? Like, she got ran out of the first primary in, 2020?
Yeah, and she's went downhill from there.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's never been a popular candidate. So she's no good. She's not winning the popular vote. Outside of that, I think your only other one is trying to garner his way into a situation is Gavin Newsom. Newsom's been trying to debate Ron DeSantis, and I think he's just putting his eyeball on the prize and waiting in the wings just in case the Democrat Party comes back and says, well, you know what, Joe, just right off into the retirement home. So Democrats have very little to choose from. They do not have any popular candidates at all. Now the Republicans, there's plenty of candidates that can pull some popularity, but I don't think 9 out of 10 of them are probably ready for the big show. That's why Trump's kind of running away with it. Ron DeSantis has had some good showings as governor of Florida. He's been an absolutely great governor.
I thought he had a shot, but people say he's just shitting the bed on these fucking...
Right. And a lot of that is not necessarily because of him. It's some of the things they set him up with. It's the lack of being out in front of the news. Because once you go to a national platform, now you have to appeal to a lot more people than just a retirement community in Florida. There's a lot bigger issues than Florida right now. And I say that even as a hurricane just rolled through there. Right? But we have massive issues with the economy. We have inflation that's now been baked into the economy. I don't care if they say it's down to 3.9%. The high prices are not going away. You have mass illegal immigration that we cannot seem or have no desire to get under control. We have rogue countries, rogue leaders doing very rogue things. Russia is conducting this war in Ukraine. We're spending money at the wazoo. China is saber rattling out there in the South Pacific.
If you were president, which I'm guessing probably won't happen, you're not doing that great in the polls, maybe on my poll, but what would you do first?
Right out the gate?
Yeah.
I would shut down federal government. I'd declare martial law and shut down federal government.
Right off the rip, huh?
Right out the rip. Well, because number one, you're elected president to take care of your country, right? And I know we've globalized the economy. Like all of our shit comes from China. It's not domestically made anymore. But number one thing is you have to get this federal bureaucracy under control. And by doing that, you will start to cut down on some of the bullshit, like all these indictments against Trump. Most normal people, now any of you lefties that are listening to this, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. Most of you guys are half retarded anyways.
This is 18 minutes in, they're gone.
Right, hopefully. But the indictments against Trump are purely political. Most every normal person, there's even a lot of Democrats that look at it and say, yeah, we know what the fuck's going on. We know you just don't want this guy running. So you're doing everything you can to put him in prison so he can't go out and campaign, right? That's not cool. That's not what we do in this country. So you got to get the Department of Justice under control. You've got to get the EPA under control. All this climate change horse shit, you have to get these activists under control. These people that are going out and blocking the streets. Black Lives Matter. The rioting, the looting, these flash mobs that are showing up in the really nice parts of Chicago and just going in and robbing businesses blind. And I know it's not just Chicago. This stuff's happening in all the big cities. But I feel like if we can't get our country under control, then why are we sending all of our money to Ukraine? Why are we sitting down and trying to create nuclear deals with Iran?
I don't know. I would also do what, most people want done too. Like if I'm sending all that money to Ukraine, then I want some fucking reparations. Give us a chunk of fucking Ukraine, right? I mean, because that's what fucking China tries to do to everything.
What chunk do you want?
Well, I want your chunk.
My chunk?
Yeah.
My chunk's Crimea.
Oh, that ain't bad. Yeah.
Gonna have to talk to my boy Putin.
Well, like that insufferable cunt Sheryl Crow would say, a change would do us good. Pro-Trump rocker Ted Nugent. You like Ted Nugent? Oh, crack open a beer, baby.
Fuck yeah. Uh,
That cat scratch fever.
I mean, maybe he was good back in the 70s.
I wasn't around.
I, I was.
My cat fever. Go ahead, go.
Bow, bow, bow.
There you go. He's known for his outspoken right-wing views, and he has now defended musicians Carlos Santana and Alice Cooper. God, these guys are young. They're in their primes. They're just speaking their fucking minds, right? I mean, these guys are legit. He says he loves both of these gentlemen, and what he's doing is he's defending their anti-trans rants. Cooper said being transgender is just a fad, and claimed men could just waltz into women's bathrooms and just feel like they're a woman today and have the time of their life in there. Well, that's kind of funny. Don't get me wrong. I do the same thing at my house because I've started building a lot of different bathrooms. We had 3 bathrooms, but now we have 6 because, you know, if you're trans and you visit, you've got your own. You know what I mean?
Right, but the idea behind trans, I mean, you could be something different tomorrow.
I know, and that's why I have all those bathrooms because I'm trying to keep up with it.
Yeah. You could be non-binary one day. You could be pansexual the next.
Yeah. Come whip your dick out in my bathroom.
Okay, that's a little weird.
That's my sign on the outside.
Oh, that's what it says?
Yeah, that, you know. If you
I feel like I really got to pee and I
be
need
a
to
sweetie, wipe the CD, pull your dick out.
I need to go to your house real quick.
This month, Carlos Santana. What songs do you like from him?
I don't even know any. I didn't even like that song.
What do you mean? You didn't like the fucking Matchbox fucking 20 song? You smooth motherfucker. You didn't like that shit? That was fucking huge. You like that shit?
No, you're right. I like it.
You did like that shit.
I love it.
So weird just seeing your eyes over this fucking computer screen.
Calm down, big guy.
I see your eyebrows. They're talking. But he said he went on a strange anti-trans and pro Dave Chappelle tirade, but later apologized. Yeah, because his manager was like, "Hey, we still need this money."
Hey, you're gonna lose money.
Yeah, just now you said what you feel, but walk that back.
All right.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's honestly, whenever I hear that shit, like, fuck Carlos Santana. He was the motherfucker that used to go out and wear Che Guevara shirts at concerts. Right? That started that whole fad. And if you ever talk to any Cuban that actually came from Cuba, not descended, like they're third generation Cubans, but people that actually escaped Cuba and come over here, they hate Che Guevara. They have no idea when somebody would glorify him by putting his face on a shirt. Because Che Guevara was a fucking murderer. He wasn't a freedom fighter. He was a murderer for the idiots that ran Cuba for 70 years. Still run it.
Yeah, Carlos Estevez and
Estevez.
Yeah, the guy that did 2.5 Men or whatever.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, I'll have to fact check. A California judge has sided with Kevin Costner in the actor's child support battle with this strange bitch, Christine, ordering him to pay $60,000 a month instead of $160,000.
Oh my god.
That's what she wanted because she's a chick. You know what I mean? She's got to
fuck.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to treat her next man well. You know what I mean?
Right.
With your money. The decision came after the pair took the witness stand on successive days. She testified their 3 children are accustomed to a lifestyle that only $160,000 a month.
Fuck that bitch. I do not agree with that. I do not like that. I do not like chicks that try to game the fucking system. Now, I don't know what the issue is between Kevin Costner and his estranged wife. I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm sure there was some bullshit that went on. But you cannot come to me and tell me it costs you $160,000 a month. I don't care what kind of life they're used to. No woman should be able to get 160,000 a month in child support. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and I've known personally, and this is low level. I mean, this is insane kind of money, but I've known guys that owe $400 a month that can't even pull that off, and I committed suicide and stuff like that. So it's a nasty. Child support can be a nasty thing.
Well, once again, that's our wild criminal justice system at work.
Love and Hip Hop is booting Erica Mena. Are you familiar with her?
I am not.
From the show after she called her reality TV co-star Spice, who is black, a monkey during a fiery argument, according to the statement posted on Instagram. Love and Hip Hop has never shied away from hard conversations in the community. And viewers will see the impact of Erica Mena's remarks. And effective immediately. She's done. She's fired.
Good luck.
You shut the fuck up, you fucking honky ass motherfucker.
Whoa.
What?
Calm down your racist rhetoric over there.
Sorry, crap. All right, let's end this on a positive note. Do you drink at all?
No.
Okay, well, that's good. Because do you know the average pina colada is more than a Big Mac or a McFlurry or a children's meal at McDonald's?
Like calorie-wise?
Yeah, calorie-wise.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Health officials in the U.S. have called for traffic light-style nutrition labels on alcohol drinks because the drinks can add up. Earlier this year, the nonprofit American Addiction Center surveyed 1,000 current drinkers about their favorite drinks. What's your favorite drink?
I don't drink.
Oh.
Bud Light.
Beer topping the list, followed closely by wine and classic cocktails like rum and coke and Long Island iced tea. Now, beer ranges from 95 to 150 calories per bottle. I mean, who knows? I mean, some of those, you've had craft beers that have to be way more than that, right? Some of those stouts that just taste like motor oil.
Right.
And I use them for lubricant.
Ooh. Lubricant or lubricant?
In the U.S., 213 million people 18 and older have reported drinking alcohol at some point in their lifetime. And about a quarter of U.S. men and a fifth of women reported binge drinking.
God,
within the past month.
We're a nation of alcoholics.
Oh, but why? Because it fucking sucks. A Heineken. Do you like Heineken? Skunk beer?
I think I've had one.
142 calories. That's as much as a bag of potato chips or 2 Chips Ahoy cookies.
Oh, God.
Fuck yeah.
Who sits down and just eats 2 Chips Ahoys? I'd rather drink 5 Heinekens.